Hello everybody, Mike, aka the Magico13, here with episode 17 of the Out of This World series. We are in the Astronaut Center to hire Maxim Kerman. He is someone who requested to be part of the series, so we have Ethan Kerman and Maxim Kerman are both people who watch the series and want to be part of it. Maxim wants to go to Eve, which is probably going to be a while. Ethan wants to go to Lathe, which is a lot more reasonable, figuring we're already in the Joule system. I do want to send him to Eve, though. I do want to send Maxim to Eve, so I'm going to be doing that eventually. It's just that right now there's not a whole lot around Eve. There isn't Gilly anymore, because Gilly is off somewhere being, yeah, here it is. Here's Gilly, being a comet. So once we get some better life support and maybe some larger parts, we will send an expedition out to Eve to set up a base. And the person in charge of that will be Maxim Kerman. We're going to probably set up a lathe base first. So Ethan will have a little bit more to do. I'm probably going to send both of them up on the zoology module when that finishes in 14 hours. But until then, we have to try to land the... Where did you go? The Moon Explorer. We have to try to land the Moon Explorer. And I've tried this in the past, and I've had a lot of issues with it. But this is also 0.23.5, so as you saw, there were asteroids. I was going to do a mission to one of them, but none of them ended up being in a good location, so I didn't do that. How do I make this go away? Yeah, okay. Most mods have updated, not all of them though. Yeah, these settings are all good. Okay. Not quite sure why my frame rate is questionable. I have no idea. So let's turn on the Kethane grid, and we were going to try to land up here because it's still in the daylight and it's got possibly a connection all the way back to Kerbin. And we need to land this monstrosity on the end. There's a very serious issue with this setup. It requires this probe core to run. It also requires communication with a remote tech network. It also has to draw power in order to run the drills and the converter. If all of the power gets drained from the batteries, those will keep running and it will never regain connection, meaning I can't actually ever regain control if for whatever reason I let all of the power run out. So that's going to be a bit of a nightmare to solve, but oh well, we will figure something out. So in here we've got Hadnard and Dunzer, so I'm going to get Dunzer out, and I'm going to grab this if I can. Yeah, grab. I would like to put this on the Kethane lander so that it has an antenna, because it's kind of more important that it has an antenna than the normal lander. And can I grab this off of your back? Oh, look, this is kind of cool. You can see the flag. Can I use the G key? That was not what I wanted. I have a feeling that I'm going to be too far away for this to work. Yeah. Nope, not pause. Where did you go? G. Now, I do want to install the mod that makes it so you view first person, but I don't I forgot to add it, so I will be adding that later. Okay, I apparently cannot, for the life of me, get this to work. Okay, let's just get really close, let go, and then attach it. There we go. Close enough. And as you may remember, we need to... Alright, board, let's quick save. We need to refuel the lander. Yeah, we need to refuel the lander before we are able to actually land. So that's why we're going to send this down. And hopefully then when we send this down, we will be all good. Okay, we are slowly approaching. I'm going to decouple and okay, I do have control. I have to do all of this with the flight computer. So let's point into the... That's kind of weird that that's stuck on there, but okay. What if we point in the retrograde direction? Okay, that looks good. We can enable the engine. I'm just going to put the landing gear down now. I'm going to quick save now. And I don't have Kerbal Engineer on here, do I? Or do I? I do! Yes! This is going to make this much, much nicer. Okay, so we have a periapsis of 23 kilometers, an apoapsis 27, and we are not going to land anytime soon. I'm going to time warp up. Just watching my electric charge to make sure. Let's try landing now. My thrust to weight is only 2.5 or so, which is not the greatest. You know what I should do is probably... Where did I put that antenna? I should probably activate it. We've still got 1,600 meters per second of delta V, so I'm not too worried about that. We are, however, no longer in communication with the Moon Explorer, it appears. So we are totally on our own. As a result, I'm actually going to maybe disable that antenna just to save power, even though it's not really using much. Okay. I'm gonna be a little dangerous in quick save right now. And then let's just hope that nothing bad happens. Alright, when we get... Let's actually see. How much would it take to drop this all the way down? That is 439 meters per second and is a 1.5 minute burn. So when we get down to about 45 seconds before then, we can start burning. And let's hope that I did it right. Unfortunately, it looks like we might land right on that, which would be a bit of a problem. It might be a little steep. I'm going to do physics warp. Oh no. That is approaching rather rapidly. And it's been quite a while since I've actually done any of this. Flying around using the flight computer, so we're going very, very quickly towards that. But we might be okay. What's our impact time? 17 seconds, still decreasing, but we are still 15 seconds away. We're going to remove this maneuver node. We might be okay. I'm going to get this down to 20 meters per second. And prepare a pitch of 90, a heading of 90. Let's try that. Oh no, 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 no. Heading, pitch of 90. I did that wrong. We don't have an engine anymore. And I broke everything! Well, I'm gonna have to quick load because I did that wrong. Pitch of 90 is up, pitch of 0 is the horizon. So a little backwards there. But the good news is we know that we can land that. So I'm feeling a little better. Alright, so I don't need PreciseNode open. I do want this. I want to point at the surface retrograde, point this in the surface direction. And it doesn't remember how long of a burn that's going to be, but we know that it's going to be about a 45-second burn. So let's time warp up until we get to 45 seconds. Let's actually start a little early, just to be sure. You know, I probably shouldn't wait until this time gets to 45 seconds. That would be better for something like a normal maneuver node. This is to actually stop, so that's kind of dangerous. That's probably why we were running into some issues. So maybe if I have to do this again, I won't do that. Though I do need to remember that a pitch of 90 is straight up, because we will have to pitch over before we land. And there's Kerbal off in the distance, and our other ships. Alright, come on. That wasn't too bad of a landing spot. It's a lot better than down in this crater, or over here, so... Looks like we might land there again. I cannot wait until we get some nice, real solar panels that actually extend instead of these tiny little ones, but then I also have to deal with waste heat a lot more. But I'm not too worried about that. I'm gonna kill the maneuver node and just try to do this manually. I think we're gonna be okay. Impact time is 12.5 seconds and is actually increasing now. So I'm going to get this down to about 10 seconds. Let's test this. We're going to have a little bit of horizontal, and there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Can't stop it. Alright, it looks like we have landed. I'm going to quick save now, just in case we run out of power. Looks like we are still in communication with Kerbal. Not sure how long that's going to last for, though. So we could lose connection. I may need to relay through the rescue refueler. In fact, maybe I should just now set up a relay from here to the rescue refueler and then point that at the rescue refueler. Although we do have, did I leave that on or did I quick save before? Also, does this have a temperature sensor? It does. Log temperature. Let's transmit that for 12 science and then log the temperature again and keep it. I am glad that I did that. I'm gonna save now, in fact. So that's 12 more science. We only need 25 to unlock a new probe core, which is something that I desperately want for the lathe probe that I want to send out. Oh, here that is. I should get the action group manager mod so that I can change my action groups, because that would be handy. And that is a nice image that we will most likely be using for the cover. This episode is starting to get to about 20 minutes, so I'm going to enable the drills. We have to be very, very, very careful. I don't think this has a... No, it doesn't. It doesn't have an alarm for when fuel levels get too low. But I have to make very sure that the electric charge does not go all the way down. So this is going to be interesting, because we don't produce enough. If you notice, we're using almost 5 units of electric charge while these drills are going. So if that gets too low and we lose communication, then I can't resume communication. So let's not let that get below about 750. And in the meantime, I'm going to try to fill up the Kethane tank and then convert the Kethane tank into liquid fuel and oxidizer. So once this starts getting too low, let's go down to 750. We might... Yeah, I'm not going to cut it too close. Let's fill up the electric charge again. And this is pretty much what I'm going to have to do every time I land this, because I didn't design it quite that nicely. Oh, that's very interesting. We might be able to still have the sun when we go over the top of Joule. I'm going to activate the liquid and the oxidizer and convert this at the same rate. And then do the same exact thing. The good news is that will turn off, so I don't need to worry so much about that. Let's deploy the drill now. And while that's deploying, we can refuel. You can see those are just flying by. The instant that hits, we should stop gaining, yeah, and start losing. So this is going to be a long process. I'm not going to make you guys watch the whole thing, so I will see you once I have filled this up, pretty much. I'm going to also retract this drill. Alright, so I will see you guys in a minute. So we've run into a bit of an issue. I got most of the way converted, and I have about 600 Kethane currently in the tank that still needs converted, and we are slowly losing electric charge. Even though there's light on these panels, they are blocked by the moon. And earlier, I had to go through an eclipse by Joule, which also is an issue. Kerbin, luckily, we're still connected to for now, but we have a little bit of an issue until this comes back into the daylight. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do with that. We've still got 7 hours left on the zoology module. It has only been 7 hours, because frankly it only takes about a day for this to go all the way around. I'm not sure what else we can do right now, but I am going to have to figure something else out. So let's actually switch to the Moon Explorer, and maybe we can get some EVA data or something. If I can get another 12 or so... if I can get another 12 or so... science, then I should be able to unlock the other thing that I want, which I can't for the life of me remember what it's called. The other probe module. And with the other probe, we will definitely be able to send out a mission to Lathe. I want to do a flyby mission. Can this even, for the life of me, just grab? Now bored. Okay. Let's see, can we do a crew report, or will that not be worth anything? That won't be worth anything, and there's no science there. Materials bay is probably not going to be worth anything. Recovery is worth 19 science, but I don't think I'm going to get anything otherwise. We will save that for when we actually are leaving. Can I get anything out here? I can get 6 out of the ScanSat data. 6.1 science added. This is probably not worth anything. Not really. What else do we have that we can do in terms of science? There's a temperature sensor, log temperature. Recovery is worth 2 science. That's not going to transmit for anything. So, yeah, not a whole lot of science that I can actually get done here. Unfortunately. How's the ScanSat map doing? I suppose I can just ScanSat for a little while. Could maybe get some science on Kerbin if I was lucky. Because otherwise we need to wait for that to come back into the daylight. So I'm going to follow this around, let it do some more scanning, and then I will see you guys after that. Alright, so it doesn't look like it's going to be daytime there anytime soon, and as I was warping around and doing some more mapping, the zoology module has only about 10 minutes left, so by the time I am done doing this warping, it will be done. So I'm going to leave this episode here and take care of the zoology module next time, but I am going to let you guys watch it finish first, and then that will be it for this episode. So thank you all for watching. I'm Mike, aka VMagico13. I will see you all next time.